I found some bicorn horn to add to the potion.
Great. I'm still trying to find the location of the next ingredient, but I should have it tracked down soon. In the meantime, I'll go add this to the potion.
They're starting a dueling club and the first meeting is today. That could be interesting. Come to the Great Hall if you want to learn how to duel.
Hello people out there, this is Mike of the 2.5 Stooges, and this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets playthrough part 4. So yeah, the dueling, it's another, like Quidditch, just another minigame in this game. So follow this guy to the Great Hall, and when you do that, another really long cutscene will play. Not as long as some other ones that have been now, so.
Dueling Club meets every day in the antechamber just outside the Great Hall. In wizard dueling, the object of the exercise is incapacitated. There are 3 spells you may use in dueling. Break to Semper, which knocks your opponent back and reduces stamina. Nimble Wimble, which prevents your opponent from casting their next spell. Excelsior, which reflects spells back onto your opponent. To select a spell, scroll through them by using the spacebar or the right mouse button. To cast a selected spell on your opponent, press the left mouse button. You may build up the strength of Brick to Center and Nimble Wimble by holding the left mouse button down. Note that potion drinking and jumping during duels are prohibited. A pledge of 30 Box-Every flavored beans is required to duel. The victor wins the opponent's beans. To challenge a student to a duel, simply walk up to them. If you have enough beans, you will be invited to duel. My assistant, Professor Snape, I am your colleague, not your assistant, has informed me that he knows a tiny bit about dueling and has graciously agreed to mentor the duel. And now for a brief demonstration. Mr. Potter, if you would like to partner up with Mr. Weasley, right. Time to split up the dream team, I think. Mr. Malfoy, come over here. Let's see what you can make of the famous Potter.
Thrashing, you will be a treat, Potter.
Very well then. One's ready.
Scared, Potter. You wish.
1, 2, 3.
I like how much time these Hogwarts students spend scratching their heads. Anyway, here, a big difference between this game and the rest of Harry Potter. Expelliarmus is not a spell to make your opponent drop their wands, it is a spell to reflect, like Lockhart said, to reflect moves back on your opponent, and you can keep doing that and the spell will build up power. And Rick December is just a standard stunning thing, although it also was mentioned in the book as a... Actually, it was a tickling charm in the book, which is kind of random. And Nimble Wimble is just invented entirely for the purposes of this game to make you mess up somehow. I do believe that Nimble Wimble will actually do damage to your opponent if you hit them enough times with it. Although, if it hits you, I have never seen it do any damage. That'll be quiet, Snape.
Leave me alone! What was that?
Did Harry just... me?
That couldn't have been.
It couldn't be. It's not him.
You're a powerful now, Harry. You can talk to Snape. Why does it matter? It matters, Harry, because being able to talk to Snape is what Salazar Slytherin was famous for.
Oh no! Exactly! Now the whole school's
Anyway, a very lopsided house point standing.
I won't be seeing you in herbology class. I'll be learning master class and working in the college department.
I think Hermione is skipping class. Well, we better get outside to herbology, Harry. Come on.
So, accidentally pushing the spacebar. I think if this game was released like 6 or 7 years later, they probably would have included some online dueling and Quidditch and whatnot. Which could be kind of interesting. Although I doubt I would do either. Yeah. So now, you can go explore an entirely new part of the Hogwarts grounds, the greenhouses. Yeah. So, there are a few chests and stuff with beans and cards and stuff in it. There's more behind these greenhouses for when you complete this lesson.
Today I'll teach you Diffindo, the severin charm. Harry Potter, would you like to plant your feet in front of class?
Why me?
I'd be glad to, Professor Sprout. Taking a leaf from Hermione's book, aren't you?
Now, Mr. Potter, please fix your gaze on the symbol in front of you. See the pointer? It's about to move its way around the shape. When the pointer passes directly over the arrow, press the corresponding arrow key. This exercise is in 3 parts. In each part, you must be accurate in order to progress. Ready to try? Round 1. Go.
This again.
Well done, Harry. You've moved on to the next level of the lesson. 5 points to Gryffindor. Round 2. Well done, Harry. You've moved on to the next level of the lesson. 10 points to Gryffindor. Round 3. Go. Well done. You've completed all of the exercises in top form. 15 points to Gryffindor. You have learned Diffindo, Harry. We've planted a seed of greatness here today. Now let's move on to the Diffindo challenge.
So yeah, that was so interesting, like every single spell lesson. Anyway,
Harry Potter, to play Diffindo challenge. To complete the challenge, you must find the completion star, which can be found in a doorway just above you. Try to get to it as quickly as you can. Challenge timer reaches 0 before you have the completion star. Redeem the challenge. Around the room, you can find challenge cards. Just sit down the star will reduce your timer and score. How long would you try to find all of them? Try to get the completion star with as many seconds remaining as possible. The higher your score is when you complete the challenge, the more house points I will award you. Stand by with the excellent group can cover doorways or doorways. You can use Diffindo to cut through and clear your path.
same thing that every other teacher's told me about this game so far. Anyway, I think this could be my favorite challenge. I don't know why, mostly because it's outside and it's... I don't know. I tend to like outdoor looking levels more than indoor ones. Same thing as I kind of like the Draconiphores and Lapifores area of Prison of Azkaban and Incendio part of Sorcerer's Stone and the Herbology greenhouses and Goblet of Fire and yeah. So here, this is kind of employing the idea of the tiles as opposed to traps for these orange snails and stuff. And oh, come on! You just want to shove the one that I was getting to run towards me and into its trap for... you're annoying enemies. So, there are two of those, and there's another stun tile. It's much smaller than Harry. There's another snail and a trap over there. First, this took me forever to find, and you, snail, can go somewhere else. If you hit all four of those random plates on the wall, then that will happen, and there is... Guess what? There was a card in there. So... yeah. I don't know, but I thought I didn't find that secret until after I finished the game, but... like, after I'd already been through the gold was a card challenge, and I don't think I bought any cards from anyone, and that has a card. I don't know. Inconsistencies in wizard cards here. So, wonder, Professor Pratt, thanks for taking a lot less time to explain these things than some other of my teachers have. Anyway, yeah. Although you do talk a lot anyway, so you can jump down here and get a few beans, and guess who is in here? Yeah, him. So anyway, these gnomes, they finally have a purpose. If you release them around Horklumps, they will run over to them and eat them, which is kind of nice because they spit out like 2 or 3 beans for every mushroom. And until all the Horklumps are gone, they will ignore you and any other beans around, which is nice. Yeah, you can go in there. And here, these tiles on the floor, you can cut those Diffindo things, and you can climb up them and jump over here and do stuff. And the phone is ringing. Okay, so sorry about that. Anyway, you can cut that rope there, and I will open the door to let you go forward. And be careful not to fall into the bottomless pit there. Alright, is audio really lagging, or is it just playback in Movie Maker? Anyway, I like how it looked like I stunned both of those things at the same time. Yeah, that snail is just there to be annoying. Like so many snails are. It's like usually you don't really see fire crabs that are just existing to be annoying. Usually it's the snails. I don't know, maybe the game designers like the way they moved around and crashed into you better. So yeah. Cut the ropes out of those blocks and push the thing around. And alright, Rowan keeps sending me these messages telling me to watch My Little Pony. I'll do that later. Anyway. Come on, spit up beans faster. I don't have all day. Well, I kinda do, but I also don't. So, a little haywire with the controls here. Don't get too close to those bushes when you stun them, because they will shoot out spikes. Although, I guess you can't... If you run right up to them and, like, jump away before they can hit you when you kill them, then that will work too. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah. Why do I say that so often? So yeah. I think all the other challenges in this game have 10 challenge stars. This one has 14. Just an observation. Did you hear Professor Sprout's dialogue run twice? That always happens, I don't know, it's kinda weird. Anyway, let's see. When you come up here, you can go and cut that rope immediately. But you can also run this way and find this thing over there, which is another challenge star, which is always nice if you're probably looking for those. And also, there's this thing over here. I'm not saying anything very interesting today in commentary. I should save this for another day. No. Anyway, this is a pretty unique way of opening a secret area here. That block, you can push it down and going after every single beanie in the game. And you might have noticed a differently colored wall tile, like ones that usually have secrets behind them, but you couldn't open it with Alhamor. And there's that gutter thing there. So if you take that block and you knock it into the gutter, you can get this with a card. Yeah. And just making funny noises. Alright, here's another snail that's just there to be annoying. And a flower pot with beans in it if you knock it over. And the less common fire crab that's just here to be annoying. Alright, you can stop firing your fire out of your backside at me and we'll be happy. And there's that pixie over there, and that's... I don't appreciate that, okay? I don't appreciate that, okay, pixie? Yeah, words can't even come out of my mouth straight today. So, I don't know why that merited its own cutscene, but okay. Yeah. Killing you, and these platforms here are kind of interesting. If you stand on them, they will start moving. They're kind of like the donut platforms in Super Mario World that'll fall away and disappear if you stand on them for too long. Except these will go into the wall and won't, like, fall into the abyss, although it would accomplish the same thing. So just speeding up time here while these gnomes go after these mushrooms. And, like, alright, you wanna stop that? Guys, gnomes? Yeah. Did you just knock yourself over? Silly gnomes. I like how they... Sometimes they do knock themselves over. Like, they try to get up and... I don't know, random numbers generated, and sometimes again, they, like, somersault and knock them... I don't know. The gnomes are among the funnier of the enemies in this game. Along with the way that they sometimes get stuck between a bean and a mushroom and spend like 2 whole minutes debating whether to go for one or the other. Alright. And over here, once you jump over this wall, you will be introduced to a new enemy. The venomous tentacula we've all heard so much about in the books, and... Well, they were in the first game. They were just a little different in that they were like... Most of them were attached to, I think most of them were attached to a wall, and some of them were implanted in the ground, and they didn't have those heads that could bite you. Anyway, here, you don't want to cut both ropes over here, because when you get up here, and I could swear that that piece of wood that somebody just threw at me just missed my head. More on that later. A couple beans. I actually think Professor Sprout just did the bio for those enemies there. And all the way down here, you got another challenge star, and there was a card. So if you go look out here, you'll find that this is so long. This hallway here is so long that it's gone back into the other room. It's kind of random. Kind of random. What am I talking about? That's very random. Map design. Like, I do like the idea of map design and stuff like that. So, those enemies, the bow truckle, they will throw wood at you. Unfortunately, the wood that they throw at you, you cannot pick up and use as push ingredients, but the wood that they drop, when you hit them with Diffindo, you can use and stuff. If you get too close to them, they will go up and hug you and strangle you and kill you, and yeah, it's kind of a weird behavior. I don't exactly know where the idea came from. But anyway, there's some more of them over here, but... Yeah, you need to learn to not do that. Yeah, see they're just like starting to trying to strangle me and stuff. because I was feeling so overly obsessive about collecting every single bean that exists when I was recording this. Alright, so here is a fairly chaotic area of this challenge. There's like, I think 4 snails wandering around the area. And I like the way sometimes they will make themselves fall into the trap. And there are also a bunch of these spiky bushes which make it kind of hazardous to just run around when you're trying to avoid the snails. And, let's see. Unfortunately, you do have to go and run around quite a bit here to knock all those into the traps. This area gave me such a hard time when I was older. But then again, so did most of this game. So there is nothing else. Whoa! Nothing else to do in that area. Although it does look like there would be quite a bit of hidden stuff. I don't know why, it just does. Like that thing that just fell out of the ceiling. Over here, this gargoyle, sort of weird. It doesn't have any purpose that I can find in-game or in debug mode or on the internet. In fact, I have found a bunch of other people on the internet who wanted to know the same thing. Why is that gargoyle there? I've decided that it's just a beta element of the develop. I shouldn't talk so fast. I have decided that it is just a beta element that the developers forgot to take out of the game after they couldn't really find a use for it. I mean, it's not even like there's any random secret area that it's left to be found because of that gargoyle. The other thing I can think of maybe is that wall that I was just standing by with over there with the chocolate frog. Whee! Fun physics jumps. There's another area sort of like that later in the game, in another challenge that's got stuff hidden behind it with Lumos. And I was guessing that they were going to do the same thing there, like hide stuff behind it with Lumos, but decided against it at the last minute for some reason and forgot to remove the gargoyle. I don't know. So anyway, if anyone understands a word of that last 8 paragraphs of speech that I just reeled off. And another wizard card. Oops, did I spoil that? I mean, now another wizard card. And a bunch of spider webs. I wish you could just do that to get rid of spider webs in real life and get rid of vines and stuff like that. It made cutting the grass much easier. Speaking of which, I'm supposed to be doing that later today. I'll do that after recording this, when it's cooled down a little outside. Anyway, yay, fun stuff. And you recognize that? That's one of the first areas that were in this game, just from higher up. Anyway, why do I say anyway so much? I really should not do that. And actively stopping myself from saying anyway again. Anyway, and so yeah, those are the 2 phrases that I really should say less of. These things. That's now you want to keep him down there a little bit because he will be important later. These 2 you can just knock into the trap. This guy, if you might notice a lightning rod shaped thing that you can open up, and there's a snail panel in there. It's one of the few traps left in the game that will go down and stay down when a snail lands in it. Anyway, if you knock this guy all the way in there, I said all the way in there, not almost all the way in there, you will open up another chest, which, when you open it, contains, guess what, another wizard card. Nice try, Howard. It's over his head, he didn't catch it. Alright, so, that's almost it for this challenge. There's 1 more bean, and 1 more flower pot, and 1 more round of being OCD, and... okay, make that 2. And that frog is there, and you can do that if you want. And if you make your way around the sides of this challenge star, you will also find a thing of flower worm, and in other treasure chests. I like that. This one and then the next challenge, I just threw in some random details, like, beyond the challenge star. Although the other one, the Spongified challenge, is kind of not just a random detail, it's actually Small spoiler, another wizard card.